Hey everybody, happy Thursday. Greg here. So I just put out that other video. I said I was going to make a video about stocks here and what I'm seeing. And I do believe we're at least in for some form of correction. At the end of the last video, I mentioned Mike Maloney put out an entire video just linking the stock market to tax revenue. So if that's true, any major downside that will come in the stock market is going to be muted because they are in buying stocks, they're buying bonds, and they're doing all of this to keep the mirage alive. So, and sadly, it's just the way it is. So, if you guys remember, was it a day ago, 2 days ago, I said go look at a couple charts. Here's WWE. World Wrestling Entertainment, and I said anytime something does something like this, and I put that video out right here on this bar, right? I said it will start to roll over. I don't care what it is. I don't care what the story is. It'll start to roll over. And look at that. Here I am putting the video out, and it dropped about what? Let's see, where did it top out here? 89, down about 84. $5 or so. What is it? I don't know the percentage. That's over 5%, 6-7% possibly. I said take a look at Amazon too. These are monthly bars again. But going back to last, 08 was the last time it touched the 50. It was $50, right? And then it got up here and went up over 2,000. It went up literally $2,003. And of course, it hit its, $1 trillion valuation. So they could talk about that all day and then suck in any of the last of the general public who is now buying stocks after it's gone up for 10 years. Again, I put that video out right here. What's happened? Amazon's dropped $100 and it's still going down, right? Now, granted, this isn't like an engulfing candle, at least yet. It's not a topping stick, but it's at least pausing because everything's getting just stupid valuations. All of this stuff is on par with 1999, 1929, and in some cases it's above, right? So, you can, whatever. I mean, the president, CNBC and stuff will just tell you to ignore that type of information, just buy. But that's what you hear at the top of bubbles, okay? So what I wanted to get into is, for those of you that trade, you probably don't need to hear all this explanation, but anyone that's new to technical analysis or charting and just looking at what's going on, I think you'll find this informative. So the first thing I look at when I see this, I just kind of try to take a higher level. I literally kind of stand back from the computer a little bit, and I look at all these bars. Now, my first instinct here is it's all just red bars. That's just kind of what I see. Now, granted, there are a couple green ones, but all the major one is the selling. Right now, if you're like, well, how is there this much selling and stocks kind of just go sideways or don't really go down that much? Well, I'm going to explain that to you, and I've been making money doing this, and all of these little valleys are going to be important here. So big sell and then valleys. So almost all of these big candles, gap down here, they are all in the first hour to an hour and a half during the trading day. And you get a huge selling, right? And then all of a sudden, the big institutions just turn off their selling algorithms. You get this gully here, this valley of low volume. And almost every one of these little valleys is going to be, you're going to look at the chart and you're going to see the stock market go up, right? So valley, stop going down, immediately goes up, right? Right over here, what's this little valley? Oh, look at that. That's stocks going up after big selling from institutions. And even on these gap ups, right? These gap ups, they're basically that's the gap right there. There's no buying. There's no buying at all. And even at the top over here, right? Look at that, right up, leading right up to the brand new high. Just a gully. And then what happened? The biggest sell candle yet. But it didn't go down that much, right? Because they turn it off quick. They can dump a bunch of millions of shares really quickly before they do any type of real damage to the chart. And then look at that. The buy the dippers come in. Why are they buying the dip? Because this is a general populace, right? They're conditioned now for 10 years to buy every dip because they're told that nothing will ever go down, which is why you have people buying this home, right? Which I've talked about in the previous video and other videos. And it's starting to accelerate. So yesterday was monster dumping of shares. And I'm timing these, okay? So I sell in the first hour. I don't know where it'll float up. I actually thought this was going to float up into the little cross here. But I short again at the end of the day. So again, this morning, I caught this giant downdraft, and I literally sold right in here as it's coming into this little sideways chop, this consolidation in a gap here. I sold this morning. Now I'm going to let this thing float back up. I don't know where it'll go, right? My guess would be somewhere in here probably, but it may just pause out right here. At the end of the day, again, I'm going to take some shorts. Now, though, and I'm not saying you should just run out and put your whole account into a short. If anyone does that, that's how you lose tons of money, right? Because tomorrow, you can have some news or something, and every stock on the planet could go up, so they can juice their tax revenues. But that's what I'm seeing, and a lot of people think this is crazy stuff, but I do trade lunar cycles, so we're into a new one. And people, if you know any doctors, nurses, they will tell you that the hospital goes crazy when you have lunar cycles. More kids are born, there's more injuries. Literally, people just come in with all kinds of crazy stuff. But it works in the stock market too. So when lunar cycles change, it tends to mean, it doesn't matter if stocks are going up or down. When you enter a new lunar cycle, it tends to flip. So we've been doing nothing but going up, right? And I do believe it's going to start to come under pressure. And today was the first day of that cycle. So I'm not surprised that we're seeing some big selling again today. So I do believe institutions are dumping. We are massively, massively, massively overvalued on every single metric, and just going back through U.S. history. So what will this end up doing? I don't know. There's so much money, so much free money where they just print it. Other central banks, we know, are buying each other's bonds. So other central banks are buying their stocks, like Japan. So, why wouldn't they buy U.S. stocks, right? But there has to come a point where there's at least some type of pullback. And even at the start of the year, right, when we got a pretty decent sized pullback, you can make a ton of money on these if you know what you're doing. So just interesting. Maybe I should do another video on this, but I've just been having more and more comments in the comments section and talking to people in my personal life. Like, a lot of people just think stuff is fake, and I don't mean just stocks in general. Just everything. I should do a video on that. If anyone else, comment below if you think. Give me some examples if you believe that stuff in the Western world right today is fake. Give me some examples below of what you think is fake. I think money's fake. I think elections are fake. I think most of the news we get is fake. Facebook is fake. The way we communicate with people isn't real. It's very, very weird. And there's some weird undercurrent going on, and I can just feel it in my bones and talking to people. Just interesting. Comment below. See ya.